So I want to introduce you to Jen Stock. This
Hi,
is
Jen.
Cameron.
Hi there, Mark. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Jen has been in the library system outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs for 25 years.
Oh, nice.
So she's got a real handle. I've done a book. She was kind enough to invite me to one of her libraries when I had Beauty and Grace, and I went down there and did a presentation. And we had a wonderful time. And her library was beautiful. You're in a different one now, I think.
I am. I'm in a more urban setting, I'd say, in where I am. So just outside of Philadelphia in Delaware County. So
Nice.
Okay.
Delco.
I'm just
Very
excited
nice.
because you both have unique personalities and you're very different in what you do in the book world. And I think that's going to make it an interesting conversation for tonight.
This is great. I love the opportunity because librarians pretty much raised me over my life. Author talks I give, a third of them have to do with librarians. The reason I write is because of my aunt, who is a librarian.
Wow.
Um,
So please
yeah,
save that or bring it back into the
yeah, we will.
conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
no,
great.
that is great. That's great to hear. I mean, I think that personally, haha, right? That's great. But no, I mean, it shows you what how important it is to have these folk in our life who provide us with these mentorship kind of pieces or these inspirational pieces, and
Hmm.
it really, just that they're librarians is even better, but that's really, it's important for these kinds of people to be supported in schools and in public libraries and in universities and whatnot, and they're not always. And so
No.
to know that that you're a result of someone who took advantage of the fact that you were around librarians or books and things is really,
Hmm.
it's great to hear,
Well, I'm
particularly
glad.
this week,
Glad.
National Library Week. So
Right.
That's right.
yes.
That's right.
Exactly. And the fact that you are libraries are such an integral part, but they have nothing to do with the promotion and the printing and the making
Right.
and the editing and all the things that are so stressful and make the industry tough for a lot of people. And you just continue, not you personally, but libraries just continue to be there as a constant. Want a book? Sure, come on. Want a story hour? Sure, come on. Need
Right.
to go after school because your parents aren't home? Sure, come on. It's
Exactly.
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. We do more than books, but we like books.
Right, right. Right. Well, you've become a social hub, and that was not the case when I was a kid.
Right.
The story hours, but that was pretty much it. And now libraries are like a mini educational system in what
They
you
can
Yeah.
do.
be. Yeah, they can be. And I think they're also just really part of the educational system. I mean, I believe it was a school district that I saw in Illinois, I think, have just recently cut all of their, or majority of their middle school librarians. And first of all, middle school is so tough anyway. I mean,
Right.
Oh,
hormones and all that stuff. And to just get rid of a special class like that, and that opportunity that we know is going to teach someone how to absorb information, how to discern it, right? Particularly with everything that's out there in
Right.
terms of the world, right? I mean, you don't have enough time to do that in your regular English class or your social studies class or your math class. That is what these classes are for. And it's just really sad to think that these
hmm.
students will miss that chunk
Right.
of time with librarians, so that they now will go to high school, might not be able to know how to research a paper, might not be able to formulate a particular argument or find that information and
Research. Right.
to do
Research.
that research, and it's a big loss, but not everyone understands that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's tragic. It's absolutely tragic, and we're seeing that in Alaska right now. The loss of extracurriculars and libraries, and it's just I don't know. There needs to be time. I've been a big proponent of the value of boredom, for my kids. And we don't allow people to be bored anymore because if I ever got bored as a child, my father, we had a set of Collier's encyclopedias. And if I ever got bored as a child, my father would give me a choice. We'll go read the encyclopedia or come outside and help me move rocks. And
Right,
we moved so many rocks that there was no point in moving them. But my dad was like, you're gonna work or you're gonna learn. So you can be
Yeah.
smart or you can be strong, right?
right.
And but I think libraries give us a chance, especially in a school situation where, like you mentioned, where it's tough. It's tough. Hormones are raging. The just bullies are there, and you're trying to
Yep,
make sense of or escape from your home life or whatever.
exactly.
Libraries give us a chance to sit, take a beat, and when we are naturally bored, we're surrounded by all these beautiful books, and you can take time with a book. I mean, I started to say don't get me started, but I guess that's what we're going to be talking about. So get me started. But
Just get warmed up. It's good.
Yeah,
yeah, this
exactly.
is the green room, right? What's the time we're looking at? An
An
hour, or
hour.
what do you?
We're done by
Okay,
8, and I try really
okay.
hard to make that happen.
No, no, that's fine. That's
It just
fine.
depends if people come. If this is gonna be it, we might be here till 10 because this is pretty good.
That's right. That's right. Well, these things I've learned a long time ago. I was, I can't remember who I was sitting by. It was a New York Times. I think it was C.J. Box,
Okay,
and he had. I'm pretty sure it was C.J. Box. Anybody that if he's watching this, don't quote me. Don't get mad if it's him, but if it's not him. But he had, and he was, he hadn't had any TV shows out yet, but he was still C.J. Box, and
Yeah.
Box Cameron were sitting next to each other, and he had about 90 people in his line, and I had four. And he kind of very kindly turned over to me and said, you know, it was just like that for me for like 8 New York Times best-selling books. And now I'm starting to get some traction. Now he fills up, auditoriums.
right.
Um, Same with Jack Carr. I was sat next to Jack Carr when early on when he didn't have anybody, and I had 13 or 14 or 40, and now he fills up stadiums, and I have 90. So these things are always lessons in humility. So
Yes.
whether it's a podcast or sitting at a independent bookstore and somebody wants to, you think they're going to buy your book, but really they want to look at the calendars behind you.
But they
So
talk your
that's
ear off for 20 minutes and say, well, thanks a lot, and walk away. I'm like,
yeah,
seriously?
yeah.
Last night in trying to find people to do this tonight, I called a friend named Adrienne Carr, and she used to work for Random House. And she is the person who is credited with getting Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code launched. And
Oh
with the
wow.
marketing and the strategy she had for it. I mean, she's brilliant. And she went to college with my daughter. And
Oh wow.
so she's been a supporter of my work forever. And I'm really grateful for that because she's somebody who knows better. Like if she's going to support it, it's not because she's being nice to me. She's
Right,
not going to say
right.
anything. But yesterday we talked, and it's the first time we've talked in probably 2 or 3 years because life is like that. And we were talking about my new book. And I said, I can't, I can't get traction on it. And she's just said to me, just keep trying. She said, that's what we did at, Random. We just kept, if it didn't work one way, we tried to figure out a different way to rearrange it and send it out again. And she said, keep doing it. Just keep doing it and you'll get there. And that was really helpful because you do get discouraged. And not that I don't need to have people, trying for my autograph, but when you give to a book and then people do like it and you can't get people to be aware of it, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of pressure to me, especially when your son's a marketer who works for New York Times best-selling authors and continually tells his mother how she's not getting it right.
Well, and the thing is, it's there's traction, and then there's traction through sales, and then notoriety traction. and
Right.
and I had a lady come to me, and because I mean, I make a living writing. Not to get in the weeds, but I make a decent amount of money writing. We do well.
Well done. I
Um,
applaud you.
Yeah.
Well
but
done because it's not
but
easy.
no one knows who I am. That's my point. Not how well
By
I'm
the
doing,
books.
but no, but I mean, even the books. I had a lady coming to me in Ketchikan last year at a book signing, and it was steady, but not, out the door. And she said, "Have I ever heard of you?" And I said, "Ma, I don't know. That's kind of a hard question to answer." And she looked at my book, and then she Googled me, which the people do right in front of you now. She looked me up online, and then she said, "You are the most famous person no one's ever heard of."
Oh, my
And
Lord.
that is
That's the
so
name of a
true.
book. That's the name of
I
a
know, I
something.
know. It's yeah, if I were to have a podcast, that's what it would be. Uh,
That's perfect.
I don't, I mean, I can get, I, I mean, I'm not going to quote the numbers, but I get a lot of reviews on Amazon, and we sell a lot of books. I never get anyone at my, I think I had 150 in Wisconsin, and then went to Rollins, Wyoming, and had 100, and then went to somewhere else in Wyoming and had two, and went to Denver and had two. So I don't understand. I don't understand the math, but I'm
I
okay
don't
with that
either.
because I didn't get into this to be famous. I got into it to tell stories.